Sip Atmatray, Sip Rekha, Sip Abhinav, Sip Bliss, Sip Komal, Sip Pooja. Welcome to the call. We have Sunday evening people creeping into the call little by little, but by the time they come, the plane would have taken off, and we are onto this important subject today, which is today I thought we will review, how can we progress on the spiritual path? Each one of you is on the path, and I thought today we will dedicate the day to, are you progressing and how can you progress? So each of you today will find it to be a very rewarding day, because hopefully you will find methods how to progress on the spiritual path. So let me start by taking your gyan. How are you progressing on the spiritual path? Are you progressing? Are you stuck? Have you reached the destination? Where are you? What are you doing? So Sangam Gupta, Haji.
Sir, there only one thing. If you leave the desire is the main culprit in the spiritual path.
Desire is the main culprit. Desire is the main culprit. So if somebody overcomes desire, you will be spiritually evolved.
So when there is no desire, the life is very smooth. Yeah, I want this, I want this. I don't want anything. I want to go. Tera. Guru Nanak ji kehte hain, tera.
Sangam ji, very good. But by saying tera, kya Prabhu ho jayega mera?
नहीं, कोशिश करने में तो होगा ना सर. कोशिश. There is no harm in trying.
Just by saying tera, kya Prabhu ho jayega mera? What do you think? You think ho jayega mera?
नहीं, when the things are in the mind, there is no mind basically. When the things are in your thinking pattern, yeah, my desire all fail. जो कल आपने prayer बताई थी कि I am nothing, you are everything.
No, Sangam ji, what you are saying is correct. I am not disputing. I am agreeing. So we must cut off desire. That's one of the things we must do, because if we are desiring, you are ever yelling, ever yearning, you become a monkey and you cannot be peaceful and you cannot evolve spiritually. जो आप बोल रहे हैं बिल्कुल सही है. उसके बाद क्या?
उसके बाद आप बताएंगे ना सर. उसके बाद का तो आपको पता है.
ये इसलिए तो हम हर रोज मिलते हैं. अभी आजकल तो मैं देख रहा हूँ, आप तो एवरी डेली आते हैं ना आजकल. You don't miss, I think. You're there every day, most of the days.
Yeah, most of the time.
So today we will try to find out. See, it's very clear. Why did I choose this topic today? Today this topic came to me much later. I decided to touch this topic because why are all of you coming on this call? You want to progress on the spiritual path. We are going to go on to Abhinav and Chidanand. But before I go to Abhinav and Chidanand, why you want to progress on the spiritual path? Why? Because there are at least I can give you 5 reasons. 1, you want eternal happiness. 2, you want to be free from suffering. 3, you want to live a life of peace and purpose. 4, you want to realize God and become one with the Supreme. 5, you want to be liberated from the cycle of rebirth. I can go on and on. Why should you progress on the spiritual path? Why? For example, somebody says, why I like to eat McDonald's French fries and burger. Why? Why you like to eat McDonald's French fries and burger? Can there be 10 reasons? No. I want to fill my stomach and I want to enjoy a good meal. That's all. Nothing else. Somebody say, I want to go to McDonald's because I want to meet my friends. I want to go to McDonald's because I want to do some time pass. You can have different reasons why you are going. The question is, why should we progress on the spiritual path? We progress on the spiritual path because that is the most essential part of life. If you are not progressing on the spiritual path, then you and me, we are like no better than a stone, a rock that will exist and it will be there forever and ever. We will go on coming back and again and again and again and again. Therefore, Abhinav Pawar, how the question today which you are going to answer, how can we progress on the spiritual path? And after Abhinav, Chidanand and Bliko. Shivam, sir.
So we can detach our mind from this world and attach it it to God or the
How,
divine or the shape.
how can we do that?
We can detach our mind from this world.
How will you detach the mind from the world?
We have to continuously think of that the supreme power.
So we have to flip over from
Right.
the material world to the spiritual world,
Yes.
which also means that you have to still the mind, you have to kill the mind, you have to silence the mind.
Correct.
So if you do that, what you're saying is you can progress on the spiritual path, because as long as you're in a state of mind, you cannot be on the spiritual path. The mind is making you think and blink and sink. How are you going to reach that state of Satchit Anand?
By practicing.
Practice, realization, purification, illumination. Therefore, today's topic is a very open-ended topic. I want each one of you to think, where are you stuck? Are you growing? Are you evolving on the spiritual path? Are you, suppose, Amina, where do you live?
Uttarakhand, Mussoorie.
मसूरी. सपोज आप मसूरी से आप गाड़ी लेते हैं हरिद्वार जाने के लिए, कितनी दूरी है? 50 kilometers. You're going on the gadi. As you're seeing 50, 49, 48, 47, what does it mean?
We are reaching there.
Suddenly you take one turn, it becomes 55, 58, 60,
Wrong turn.
62. क्या मतलब है?
Wrong turn.
आपने wrong turn ले लिया. आप किसी के साथ गाड़ी में बैठे थे, आप बातचीत में मग्न हो गए, you got busy in the conversation, आपने गलत turn. हरिद्वार नहीं जा रहे, आप ऋषिकेश जा रहे हैं अभी. How do we progress on the spiritual path? Today we are on that subject. Good, what you said is a good point, and what even Sangamji said is a good point. How do we go forward? Chidanand. And then Bliko.
Shivam, Guruji.
Show him, sir.
So, the moment anybody is on any path, first of
Yeah.
all, there is a destination. There has to be a destination, a goal. And
Correct.
secondly, the progress has to be, as you just now said, you should know the milestones.
Correct.
And if the milestones are not reaching in reasonable time, as per the guidance of the Guru or whatever path you're following, then you
Yeah.
should be immediately alert. Second is, in spiritual path, you always have a disciple. Disciple means the disciple is the one who is disciplined. So the progress on the spiritual path can be measured. First, you should have a goal. It should be only goal and there should not be any divergence. Second, you should have a milestone for your own to evaluate, okay, how are you progressing. And third, you should have a discipline. And unless these three things, or actually it is said by Shankaracharya, the sadhan chatushtay, if you don't follow it, naturally there are umpteen chances of digressing. So milestones are like, you should know that one of the milestone is, are you able to detach? Secondly, are you able to be in a yoga all the time? So, and it's very difficult. I can tell from my experience for last 25 years, it's very difficult. Then suddenly you realize, because you wonder, you think, spiritual path is just doing good things, thinking good thoughts, having, be with the spiritual company. But all that will only give you a sort of a social, status. But unless you yourself are properly disciplined, you have a goal, you have a path, and you follow it day by day, every day, meticulously, then you will automatically,
So,
it has to be
everything-
measured. It cannot
Yeah.
be just haphazard or, hallucination of my mind, getting myself, suddenly emotionally charged. All that is fine initially, but there has to be a discipline.
So,
Otherwise,
Chidanand,
you're not a disciple.
that's why we are today talking in a very simple manner. Today we are talking in a very simple manner. So before I go on to Bliko, let me tell you some of the simple things. If you are, as you are becoming spiritual, if you are becoming less peaceful and less peaceful and less peaceful, what is the meaning? What is the first indicator?
You are on a wrong path.
You are on the wrong. You're not progressing. If you are not improving your level of peace, your peace quotient, you are not improving. If you're not improving your happiness quotient, if your happiness quotient is not increasing, you are not progressing. If your relationship with God is not improving, you are in the wrong, you have a negative quotient. So I want all of you to try to have certain indicators. And one of the very important indicators is peace. And another indicator is, your ability to be enlightened. Is your state of enlightenment improving? Are you still remaining? Are you able to see the picture, clearer picture, or are you still confused? Are you living with confusions or conclusion? Do you have next indicator? I want you all to catch these indicators. I'm just speaking haphazardly. Next indicator. Do you have a control of your mind? Next indicator, are you actively using your intellect? Next indicator, are you living in consciousness? Next indicator, do you see the presence of the divine all the time? Oh, there's so many indicators. Chidanand, it's not difficult. Don't say it's difficult. It's not difficult. But
Sir,
how many of us?
my observation is people don't know what is God only. So very fact, they don't know what is self, what is self-realization.
Chidanand, we are not talking about those people at all.
No.
There are
Even people on spiritual path.
No, people who are on this call. People who are on this call, we are addressing to these people here.
So there you have got a guru. In this call, we have a guru. There is somebody who is self-enlightened and who can tell you.
We have got 40 gurus. We have 50 gurus in this call. So
that's not true.
The point is, Chidanand, what we are trying to get to today. I'm repeating the question. How can we progress on the spiritual path? How many of you have a notebook and you're progressing on the path? Can you show me? Anybody? Anybody has got notebook? Ashok Chotwani, with all the indicators and your progress level. Please show me how many indicators are there. I know you have a notebook with all the good things you're writing. Many of you, at least 10 people on this call are writing every day, either on the phone or on the notebook. How many of you have got spiritual indicators? For example, I'm not so good in economics today, but who's economics expert in the call? A country will say, how is the country progressing? They will talk about the GDP. They will talk about some index. They will talk about the foreign exchange reserves. They have got certain parameters, certain indicators, and they see whether the country is progressing as per these indicators. Are we bothered? Are we bothered about GDP and forex reserves? No, we're not bothered because it's all Leela. It's all Maya. What we are bothered is about our spiritual indicators. What are your spiritual indicators? Peace, joy, divine love. Are you evaluating your progress in divine love? How much are you growing? How much are you able to love the divine? How much are you able to be compassionate to one and all? How much are you able to serve the suffering as God? There are so many indicators, my dear friends. Okay, next indicator. Before I Bliko, sorry to delay you. Bliko, then Bliss and Chida, and then Ashok Chotwani. What is your meditation index? How much meditation you are able to do? What is your agitation index? I mean, I'm just shooting off 100 points to you. No, don't get, you decide certain parameters. You don't take all my parameters. For me, if I am not in peace, I know I have lost my spiritual ground. The moment my mind becomes a shaitan and the mind starts troubling me, I know I have lost my bliss. I have lost my Satchitanand. And I come back to consciousness.
So this is the biggest indicator. When you lose your Satchidananda, how fast you can come back to consciousness.
Correct. So how many times in a day you lose your bliss?
Yes.
And how many times in a day you are monitoring your progress? Yes. See, my dear friends, finally, there was a time when I was monitoring how much money I have in the bank. 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, 6 crore, 7 crore, 10 crore, 11 crore, 12. Then I looked at myself in the mirror and said, you fool, stop it, stupid. Stop it, stupid. For what are you going on collecting money? For whom? For whom? So we have to realize what are these. Today's subject is this. See, every day I want to bring about some subject which is contributing to your growth. If I don't bring a subject, and it's not easy for me, but I try. Today I believe it's a very important subject. And yesterday also I think we had a subject and we turned it around about prayer. So we try our best to make every day useful. So we have got Bliss, Bliko, first Bliko, then Bliss and Ashok Chotwani. How can we progress on the spiritual path, Bliko?
Shivoham, everybody.
Shivam, sir.
So, for the life, we need to have a purpose. If we know the purpose of life is to get enlightenment, and only that is a goal, then you are going to progress definitely, because you will have a GPS, you will have a right guidance, and you have a right attitude to achieve that goal. If you have the desire, only one desire to get the goal, and all other desires subsides, then you definitely can progress. The indicators you mentioned is all are very, very important, like peace of mind. I am watching my own peace of mind and my own progress, not by, like you said, it is very important to write down, but I am not 100% following that. But I wrote in a bits and pieces somewhere and sometime in my enlightenment book, which you gave me. That is a very, very important book. I consider that as a Bible, because that will progress you and that will give you boost, and you can see that you are progressing on that magic and Pirlu, the steps. It is mentioned very clearly in our call, and everybody knows what are the indicators. If I am not getting agitated by any events, that means I can maintain my peace and I am not going towards my mind, but I am keeping my dial towards consciousness. So this flipping is very important, and I can see in my life there is a big change, and it is continuous change, and I'm progressing. That's the indication that I'm feeling happiness from inside.
So, Rico, what you said is absolutely correct. Thank you. When did you join this call? How long back?
What is that? Can you
You
please
joined
repeat?
the call. When did you join this call? Since how long? How many months?
It's almost 9 months.
In 9 months now, if I ask you what has been
Yes.
your progress, you don't have specific measurables. You must have specific measurement.
Correct.
So
I discuss with you about my problems,
Yeah.
or my inability to control my certain desires, which was one time it was looking like impossible. It becomes possible, and then
Good.
I overcome, and now I can guarantee that I am already overcome that thing.
So what I'm
that is
asking,
a
very good. What I'm asking of you, you are progressing, you know it, I know it, we both know it. But I want you to measure it, because
Correct.
what cannot be measured cannot be improved.
Correct.
If a cricketer does not know he was scoring 70 and he's scoring 80, he's scoring 90, he will never score a century. We must measure. And so today I'm telling you, you all try to measure your progress. I'm not telling you the method. You choose your method, whether you want it to be God-based, silence-based, happiness-based, peace-based, you decide.
I will tell you one practical approach I did it. Before sleeping, I just do meditation for 5 minutes, very short, and then I recollect my day's activity. How many times I flip to mind, and how many times I get distracted by the sansaric events, and I lose my peace of mind. So I recollect all the events of the day, and then I observe every day that numbers are going down.
Very good.
It gives me indication.
No, very good. So, my dear friends, I don't have any doubt that all of you, you are at least 50 of you who are regular on this call, at least 50, maybe 60, 70, maybe we are actually about a family of 100 people. In the Zoom call, we are already about 100 people, but all 100 don't come every day. Some people come twice a week, some people come 4 times a week, some people come 6 times, some even 7 times a week. But the point is, my goal, how can I help you, how can I help you progress on the spiritual path? I have a very selfish goal. My selfish goal is you should reach your goal. My selfish goal is I must see you reaching your goal. I must see you reaching that state where I don't have to answer any question. I know if this question comes, you know the answers. All of you know the answers. We reach that state, a state of complete enlightenment. That is the goal. Thank you, Bliko. Bliss and Ashok Chotwani. Bliss.
Hello, Shwam dear.
Shivoham Bliss.
I think I have made a lot of
Progress.
progress. I am become more calm and I am able to control my way of response to another. And I don't try to explain everything, and sometimes I don't want be a part of drama. I don't want. I receive myself of drama. I don't want it in my life. And I try to always become calm. And I am often on silence. And I try to, it's the first time I live alone. Before I was cat, dog, and many friends and many plant and I wanted make many work outside and build and always many project in my head, and now I know everything and I
You're
try
silent.
really.
Now you are
Yeah.
still and you're and how are you peaceful? You're happy, you're peaceful.
Yesterday I was on my bike and it was really a cold day, and I was between a mountain and the wind blowing and everything. And what I see is the beautiful mountain and color of autumn, and I was so peaceful, really peaceful. And I say thanks God for everything.
And you experience it or you don't experience it wherever you are.
Yes, persimmon.
Possible.
Yeah, I see persimmon and everything. It was so wow.
So thank you. Thank you. See, look at this. So this is a very good progress, right? So if somebody like Bliss, who's not having the background like we are having in Quebec, in Canada, by herself, but she's on this call since years, for maybe 2 years, she's on the call and she doesn't miss a call. She doesn't miss a call. Very, very, very rare for Bliss to miss a call. So
No,
I want to, yeah. So it's a
c'est
lot
not
of
an option to miss the call.
Huh?
C'est non an option to miss the call.
There's no option. Bliss says there's no option. And you know, I find it so challenging for her. Sometimes she takes Hindi and she puts in translator and she gets from Hindi to English and English to French. And then she understands in French and then she replies in French and she translates to English and she pastes to me. I can make out she struggles to do so much work, but she's very committed to progress on the spiritual path. My dear friends, let me tell you, there are not many genuine and sincere groups on the spiritual path. There are many people and many leaders who will just tell you so many things, but there will be no progress on the path. To have sincere and genuine progress on the spiritual path, it is only what the Upanishads say, what Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Ramana Maharshi, Adi Shankara, this is the end. All these people are talking one truth, only one truth. And that truth is Tattvamasi, Neti, Neti. That is the truth. The spiritual path is very simple. Of course, we have made it even more simple. We have made it so simple a child can understand. But still people find it difficult because the mind is a monkey. The mind robs our consciousness. The mind steals and makes us ignorant, steals our peace of mind. Okay, good. Thank you, Bliss. Ashok Chotwani, how can we progress on the spiritual path?
Shivam here, sir.
Shivam, sir.
Sir, we can progress on the spiritual path by following the principle of Vivek Vairagya, Shatra Shampat, and Mumukshutva.
Correct.
Regarding progress of my on the spiritual path, at present I am desireless. I have no attachment, and I also control the senses. But I have to increase the love for SIP.
Okay.
There is the shortfall.
Why do you feel that there is a shortage in your love for SIP? What is the reason?
So I have now actually realized or experienced that I have to improve more.
So I think you are not taking the help of bhajan. So many of our people, they are singing songs. Tum hi to mera sab kuch, tum hi to meri jaan hai, tum bin main kya, o piya main kuch bhi na, tu hai to main hu, tum bin main kuch na, मैं सांस जो भी हूँ लेता ये तेरी कृपा. Ashok, when we become in love with the divine, when there is lot of love for the divine, then we start experiencing SIP more. We experience SIP more. We love SIP more. We see SIP everywhere. We stop searching for SIP. Like Bliss said, she goes in the mountains and she feels Posimom everywhere. So when we start experiencing, for me, a little bird, a small bird, I can see SIP. Anything, everything, I see SIP. So you must.
I am improve. I am improve on this.
Okay, but
I
you're
am
saying
getting
that
more and
try to program yourself more and more on it. Try to. There is only SIP. There is nothing else.
It is true,
There
sir.
is- yeah.
SIP is everything, sir. Yeah.
So, my dear friends, let me quickly twist the question. How many of you think you are not progressing? How many of you are stuck? How can I help you? Anybody stuck on the spiritual path? Anybody wants my help? Anybody says, I'm stuck, I'm not able to grow. This is the reason. Anybody? What is holding you back? I want to help you. Shivam.
खाने का क्या कनेक्शन है स्पिरिचुअलिटी का?
खाने का
हाँ,
कोई कनेक्शन नहीं.
कुछ भी नहीं है.
मैं आपको खाने का कनेक्शन बोलूंगा तो फिर आप बोलेंगे पोटैटो खाना है, टमाटो खाना है. नहीं, सी खाने का कनेक्शन, खाना, there is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. The khana affects the body. We are not the body. But definitely there is sattvic khana, tamasic khana, rajasic khana. अगर आप मिर्ची खाएगी, हाँ, कई लोग उनका ध्यान हरी मिर्च पे है. हरी मिर्च पे नहीं, हरी पे ध्यान होना चाहिए. ना हरी मिर्च पे पर हरी पे. So if our focus is on food, all the time on food, then we are becoming the body. But we should not pay too much attention to khana. You should pay attention to kya spiritual khana kya kha rahe hain aap. What is the spiritual diet of your life? How much silence? How much time with the guru? How much time in Jnana Yoga? You must spend time on a spiritual diet. Okay, next please. What is holding you back? I want some people to tell me what is holding you back, because surely there are stuff holding you back on the spiritual path. What is that? Is it anger? Is it hate? Is it jealousy? Is it anxiety? Is it some people? Is it family?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I lose my anger very quickly.
So who gets angry? You get angry. You get angry for what reason? So you need to analyze. The moment you get angry, you got angry because you had an expectation. You don't get angry for nothing, right? Suppose you tell somebody something, they don't do it. Then you get angry. Or somebody did not do something the way you wanted it to be done. You get angry. You had an expectation. Expectation is not fulfilled. You get angry. Am I right? There must be a reason for the anger.
Correct.
Yeah, but the moment you realize all this is drama, all this is Leela, all this is Maya, then should you
Everything is realized, Guruji, but after that anger is, gone.
that means you're losing the realization. That means you are sinking back. The mind is stealing your peace. And the moment the mind steals your peace, then you're in pieces. The challenge is, Abhinav, the challenge is for us to be in that state of Sat Chit Anand. When you're in consciousness, you cannot get angry. When you're in Sat Chit Anand, when you're in consciousness, there cannot be anger. Impossible. Because
So how
when
can
you're
we
in,
always remain in this state of consciousness?
very simple. Who can answer? How can you remain in the state of consciousness? Who can answer? Who will give the answer?
Yogi. Being in
Yogi.
yoga.
Okay, that is a secondary point. Anybody else? How do you always remain in a state of consciousness?
Still the mind.
Correct. Still the mind. That's the answer. Who gave the answer? Same, Girish only.
Still the mind.
Huh? Gautam. Okay. The way, Abhinav, have you seen a coin?
Yes.
Have you seen a coin?
Yesterday,
got-
day before yesterday, you showed
A
us
coin has got how no? You have any coin in your hand? How many sides are there in a coin?
two
How many
sides.
sides? Two sides.
Two.
If you see one side, can you see the other side?
No,
And if you turn that side, you see this side. Then can you see the other side?
no.
There are only two sides of the coin, mind and consciousness. If you're in consciousness, then there's no mind. If you're in mind, then there is no consciousness. You understand what I'm saying or not?
Yes, yes.
The moment there is a mind, the mind means there is thoughts. You are lost consciousness. The moment you are in consciousness, you're peaceful, you're blissful, there is no mind. We have to learn to flip the coin of our life. We have to learn to flip the coin of our life, Abhinav, into that state of consciousness. सत के चित में जो रहता आनंदा में रहता सच्चिदानंदा हाल है वो. You know, I was speaking to somebody yesterday and that person was so agitated. Person so agitated, so agitated. So I told that person, come back to consciousness state. No, he's saying like that, they are saying like that, she's saying like that, he's saying like that. Yeah, you're caught in the Leela, you're caught in the Maya. You come back into the spiritual state, nothing matters, it's all like a dream. Will you keep on screaming, no, in the dream, the dog was chasing me, the dog was brown color, the dog was black color. No, you finished the dream was, you were sleeping, you woke up from the dream, it's only a dream. This life also is the dream. Why are we getting upset? Somebody said something, why are we getting upset? Something happens, sometimes somebody dear in our family. It's about our own family members. Suppose something happening with my son, my own son, something's happening, but nothing affects me. Because in the Leela of life, he's my son only in the drama. He is playing the role of my son. He is not my son. There's nothing like my son. My son is only playing the role of my son. When we are in consciousness, Abhinav, when we are in such a consciousness, there is a question of getting angry. And to grow in the spiritual path, my dear friends, consciousness is a key. People who are not on the spiritual path, they don't understand the meaning of consciousness. And like you asked, what is consciousness, Abhinav? It's very simple. First, Girish said yogi. Girish, yogi happens much later, Girish. Yogi happens first only when you are in a state of consciousness. Then only you can live as a yogi. Correct? No, Girish. Without consciousness, can you be a yogi? How can you be a yogi? You can't. You will be a bhogi. Why are a bhogi? Because you are so caught in the mind state. You are a bhogi. But the moment you're in consciousness, then you can become a yogi. And to be in consciousness, you flip the coin. There's no mind. Either there's day or there is night. When there's night, then there's no day. When there's day, then there's no night. So this is, I hope all of you can progress on the spiritual path. And I'm here to help you every day. Please come and tell me this is the problem. Either you can tell me the problem you're facing, or your friend is facing, or your relative is facing, or you type the question and send it. If you're like shy to tell your question on the call, now I have a question here, and Sachin says, and if it's a private question, you put the word private. I will not even give your name. Suppose you are sending me
Guruji,
a question.
I have one more question to ask.
Yes, please.
Abhinav. So Guruji, you were saying that I have to practice silence. So
Yes.
how can I do that?
How do you just still the mind? And you still the mind and you still your five senses. You practice silence for by first sense. You're sitting in a shut off your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your skin. Shut off the panch indriya. And then quieten the mind. And then as you try to still the mind will jump like a monkey. As it
Yes.
jumps from one thought to the other thought, you watch it. You watch it. You watch it. The mind will be jumping. You just watch it. You are not the mind. You are the soul. You watch the mind. When you watch it, then you can catch it and you can latch it. First, you watch the mind. You watch it. You watch it. The moment you're watching the mind will become conscious. It will slow down. It has to slow down. It has no option. It is bound to slow down because in reality, there is no mind. The moment you start becoming the witness, the observer, you become conscious of your thoughts and you start watching your thoughts, automatically the thoughts will reduce, slow down, and you will reach that state of consciousness. But if you are in the state of agitation, then what happens? In the state of agitation, you cannot have consciousness. You cannot have peace. Therefore, you need to be in that state of peace.
Right.
Sachin, does karma affects your path of spirituality or these two independent things? Karma is independent. But whatever good and bad karma we do, that will be responsible for our next life and also for our destiny in this life. But spirituality is transcending karma, which means to realize I am not the one who's doing the karma. I am not the body. The body is doing the karma directed by the mind and ego, me. I am not the mind and ego, me. It does not exist. When you live as the divine instrument, Sachin, when you start living as a divine instrument, that I am not the doer of action. मैं क्या हूँ कुछ भी नहीं सब कुछ तो ही है प्रभु तुम बिन मैं क्या. If you start living in that mode, मैं एक बांसुरी प्रभु कुछ भी नहीं संगीत है तेरा मैं कुछ भी नहीं. You live in the mode that you are a karma yogi, you are an instrument of the divine. Then you transcend the karma and you are spiritually liberated and united with the divine. Siddhanand, last question for today.
Sir, I wanted to have two aspects. One is the karma will definitely bring you to the Zoom call. Because if your karma, this path is not available to you, you will not even look at this thing. That's where I felt the karma is
dual karma. Dual
Yes.
karma. One karma, your karma can bring you to this call because of karma, somebody may push you onto this call. One karma is bad karma. You want to come on the call also, you can't come on this call. But second, the dual karma is my commitment, my dedication, my choice. I want to come on this call. I will come on this call. I choose to come on this call. I use my intellect, my willpower, and I make a karmic decision. I want to come on this call no matter what. So this is the dual karma. One karma which is not in your control and one karma which is in your control. That's
human life, it has to be dual karma always.
Yeah. So you have
it
2
cannot
points.
be singular at all. Yes.
Correct. One more point, Sharan.
Second point was this flipping from mind to consciousness.
Yeah.
I personally feel there is only one way to still the mind.
Correct.
I never find any other way to flip to consciousness because unless you master the art of stilling the mind or killing the mind, and that can be done only by practice.
So Chidanand, while what you say is absolutely right, there are different techniques to still the mind.
Yes.
One technique to still the mind will be meditation. One
the different
dhyana,
meditations. Yeah.
Dhyana, pratyahara, dharana. There are different ways to reach that state of stilling the mind. For example, somebody may go into playing cricket for 1 hour and all the time is on cricket, the entire concentration on cricket, the mind stops existing. There's no mind in the playing of cricket. For example, there's a beautiful game I'm making. I don't know how many of you have seen the game. It's called Labyrinth. Have you seen the Labyrinth? We are making this toy. It's a wooden toy. And in that wooden toy, there's a silver ball. That silver ball has to go in and go in and go to the center. We have made that toy. that toy is meant, it's called a labyrinth maze. Labyrinth, labyrinth maze.
Yes.
We have just made a sample. And if you're busy with the toy to get the ball in the center, then your mind is already busy. Your mind is engaged in this. And therefore you still your mind.
Yeah, in positive psychology, they call it the flow.
Then there may be one more way, Chidanand, to still your mind. It may be bhakti. Suppose you are saying, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Suppose you are having a lot of devotion for the divine. Then you
Yeah,
get into that mode, and so there are different ways.
Every yoga has got its own way. Vedantic meditation is different from Raja Yoga meditation. Bhakti yoga is different. But that as a, you will have to practice it. Knowing is different and doing is different. That knowing doing gap, unless it goes, we only fool ourselves that we are, in the intellectual state of mind.
Nothing in this world happens with theory.
Yes.
Everything in this world is practical. So, my dear friends, today we have taken a session to help us move forward on the spiritual path. Please try to have an indicator. Please do an evaluation. Write down those various parameters which you think are the spiritual parameters. And what are your negative parameters? Where you are going minus? Anger, fear, stress, anxiety. Where are you going minus? Where are you going plus? Joy, peace, bliss, surrender, acceptance. Oh, I can give you 50. I can give you 50 indicators. There are at least 50 indicators, both negative and positive. But if we are able to monitor and evaluate our progress, you can be sure that you will move forward on the spiritual path, the path of our destination, our goal. With folded hands, I bow down to you.